S47, war number 10, and we are up against DSVG. This time my team will be Silk, Kate Bishop and Chee'ilth. I will be taking Path 1 in Section 1, Path 5 in Section 2, Apocalypse, Onslaught, Jessica Jones and Silk mini-bosses, along with the Titania boss using Kate Bishop. Been a while since I have used Kate Bishop in war. She is one of the strongest war attackers, be fast and a safe option for plenty of fights, and she will get some use this time around. Starting off here we have a Baron Zemo on the personal space regeneration node, and I will be taking this fight with Kate Bishop, starting with the Cryo Arrow pre-fight as usual. I went ahead and used an advanced power boost to get my first Cold Snap passive here ticking as quickly as possible, as to not waste any unnecessary time in this matchup. The fight is very simple. I simply just hit Zemo until he drops, mainly letting the Cold Snaps do the work. Now I will not be going for any heavy attacks to refresh the Cold Snaps here. I don't want to be inflicting any debuffs for Zemo to cleanse, though honestly the fight is over fast enough that even if I did do that, I would never be able to trigger enough debuffs to actually trigger the root. So overall the fight is very safe and very simple. You just melt him with the Cold Snaps and there's nothing much he can do. Now next up we have a Joe Fixit here on the Masochism Overtime node, and Joe Fixit is a tactic champion. And that means if he uses the special one, I am very likely gonna die. So the game plan is to use the advanced power boost, get to a special 2 before he has the chance to even try to use the special one, drop that for the Cold Snaps and then just let him melt from them. And if he uses a special 2, I'll just dex it. If he doesn't, well, he doesn't, and the fight goes down very quickly, and once again a very safe fight. I wouldn't really recommend taking the fight without an advanced power boost, since then Joe will have a chance to at least attempt the special one, and that's just an unnecessary risk to take. Now next up here we have a Morbius on the Ebb and Flow Intercept and Sadist nodes, and I will be taking this fight with Chee'ilth. Now Chee'ilth does have a ton of debuffs, so she isn't exactly the greatest option for this matchup. The main reason I'm using her here is just that she is a tactic attacker, and that's really all you need. I'm not comfortable fully dexing the special one while rooted, so I will utilize the attack tactic by intercepting Morbius and then just blocking the special ones whenever possible. The biggest problem with Morbius usually is the psionic glide. I will keep an eye on it and do my best to bait it out every once in a while when it is ready, before trying to go for any intercepting for the taunts, and that leaves him quite vulnerable and the fight is over relatively quickly. I have had some issues with this guy in the past on the same node, but overall the matchup isn't too difficult to take, with plenty of options. Now then, we have a Werewolf by night on the Ebb and Flow Intercept and Mighty Charge nodes, and I will be taking this fight with Kate Bishop. I went ahead and used the Cryo Arrow pre-fight as usual, and I also want to make sure the pre-fight actually sticks by backing up the fight and seeing if the pre-fight icon is on. If it is not on, you need to reload the war map, otherwise the fight will not have the pre-fight, and then in this case Kate Bishop would be cycling her arrows after every special, which is, well, it's just annoying and I would like to avoid that. Now Werewolf himself is relatively easy to deal with as well. You just gotta shut down the howls whenever he tries to attempt them, and then just let the Cold Snaps do the work. The fight goes down very quickly, no damage taken, and now that I can actually dex his specials, well, most of the time at least, he's not really a big of a problem. Then we have an Apocalypse here on the 1 too many hits and Power Snack mini-boss node, and I am taking this fight with Silk. I still had the advanced power boost active, which is what I will need for this one. Well, need is a strong word, but it helps for the game plan that I got going on. Essentially, I will do the usual special 3 triple fury rotation just to drop this guy. However, before actually throwing the special 3 here, I go ahead and wait for my auto evade to come back off of the cooldown. The reason for that is if I use my special 3 now, the special 3 pushes Apocalypse to a special 1, which then triggers the power sting debuff on me from the 1 too many hits nodes, and due to how it interacts with your special 3, it will also detonate immediately, taking unnecessary chip damage. So I wasted a little bit of time here in favor of health, so I wouldn't have to use a potion. And now, at this point, Apocalypse is essentially dead. If my basic attacks won't finish him off with this combo, at the very least my special 2 will, and there is nothing Apocalypse can even do at this point to prevent that. Luckily I don't have to throw my special here, so I avoided any damage at all in this fight, finished with a full yellow bar, and overall the little bit of wasted time was worth it in my opinion, since, well, as I have said previously, this season wars are not decided on time, they are decided on deaths, so saving any resources when I can, it is, well, helpful, I guess. Then next up here we have an Onslaught on the High Energy Diet and Mighty Charge miniboss node, and I am taking the fight with Silk. Game plan is the usual special 3 triple fury rotation, or at the very least it was. However, seeing as how quickly this Onslaught is actually melting here, I decided to just go for a special 2 nuke here and just get this over with faster. The special 2 alone was not enough, so I did have to bait another special 1 here, which is fine. I am fairly comfortable dexing it, and even if I failed it, I still had the auto evade up to save me in case something went wrong. So overall, that fight went very well. Silk is an excellent option for it. However, you will take some chip damage from the neural shoot passives. That is basically unavoidable. Then next up we have a Jessica Jones here on the Hazard Shift, Incinerate and Poison node along with Stun Immunity, and I will be taking this fight with Chee'ilth. Now Chee'ilth with her cleanses is an excellent option for Jessica Jones in general due to how her ramp up works. Essentially, she gets those investigation charges whenever you gain a debuff or cross a bar of power. However, gaining a cleanse or cleansing a debuff will also remove the charges, and well, Chee'ilth has a lot of cleanse. Essentially my game plan here is to just bait and punish heavy and special 1 with my heavy attack, stack up those bleeds, keep them paused, and then just melt her like that. I will also be using my special 2 here, though it's not necessary at all, and the special 1 is also not a bad choice to be able to inflict more bleeds. I figured that if I get to use the special 2 for the Tranquilize debuff, I would run the risk of, or I wouldn't have the risk of getting too many debuffs on myself from the Hazard Shift node, eating up all the cleanses and then eating unnecessary damage. The Tranquilize debuff helps you shut down the debuffs in general, so that's a less of a risk to happen. Overall, fight went very well, no mistakes there, and I didn't eat a sink this time, so I can't be mad at that. Then we have a Silk here on the Brute Force and Polkadot Power and Stun Reflection miniboss node, and I will be taking the fight with Chee'ilth. The game plan here is what it usually would be against a Silk boss with Chee'ilth, just, well, with anyone really. Just push her to her special 2, full dex it, and then just, well, deal with her slowly but surely using the bleeds. Now there is a slight problem. This Silk, for whatever reason, just walked up to me and decided to use that unblockable special 1 for no reason. I was holding my block for a while before she did that, and yet she still threw the special 1, as if she knew she would be unblockable, even though it's just a chance based on how many Dauntlets I have. So, I'm not sure why that happened, but it did, and this simple fight became a lot scarier at this point. Now Silk's health bar is melting, but now I am a little bit stuck here trying to bait the special 2. I need to tap her every now and then to reset the brute force timer, otherwise I will simply melt from the degen. But I also can't hit her too much or I will push her to a special 3. Luckily she did decide to finally throw the special 2, so I got to bait that out, got the full dex, and now I'm going for a special 3 to try to finish her off before she has a chance to throw any more random special 1s and finish me off. Special 3 here was not enough, however a tick of bleed here from the deep wounds mastery, followed by another tick from the actual bleed itself, and Silk went down. Overall, the fight should have been quite simple, but it became a lot scarier due to the AI doing some very weird things, but I did get the solo, so I can't be too mad at that. Now, for the next fight we have the final fight of the war, a Titania boss that I will be taking with Kate Bishop, and originally my plan was to use Chee'ilth here, due to her being tactic, and it would be just a very simple fight for her. However, due to taking a beating in the Silk fight, I changed the plan a little bit and went in with Kate Bishop instead. As I have shown before, I am very comfortable full dexing the special 1 from Titania, so that will be my game plan here. Just bait the special 1, full dex it, you don't have to worry about the daunted or the unblockable at all if you're comfortable with the dex, and then just melt her with the cold snaps as you normally would against most other champions with Kate Bishop. Now overall, this fight is extremely simple. The only thing I need to worry about is the haymaker, so as long as I can watch the timer properly, this fight is not an issue. Now if I do need a special and fail a dex by accident, I can very well just get completely noobed here, but at this point I'm not feeling too much pressure playing against this tactic. I am already very used to it. So last season was a bit of a disaster, but this time around I at least know what I'm doing for the most part, and yeah, these fights aren't nearly as difficult as they first seemed. It's been about 1.5 minutes and Titania here goes down, no damage taken, and yeah, using Kate Bishop here was probably the right call after all. As for the results, we did end up winning this war 14-6. So once again, another victory that we wanted to get, and overall, this war was actually pretty well played. 6 deaths isn't horrible considering the tactic.